Hey, let's talk about the Telepathy Tapes by Ky Dickens. If you haven't heard of them, you should look them up. It's the #1 podcast in the world right now, even before Joe Rogan, and I think there's another one up there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The Telepathy Tapes talk about nonverbal autistic kids being telepathic. And that's been tested, verified by the scientific method. They've been in another room. No way they could have been told something that they wrote down. They have read the minds of the crew who filmed and recorded all these things. Anyway, we're not going to talk about if it's true or not. We're going to talk about what that means. These kids have lived all their lives with people thinking they're disabled, they're stupid, they're not able to do anything. They were just vegetables sitting there. And now it turns out they're probably the smartest and the most capable in a spiritual way of all of us. And it makes me so sad thinking about that. They've been in there all this time and people have ignored them. And they had no possibility, no way of communicating with us what they are thinking about, what they are truly like inside. Some of the capabilities that they have are just mind-boggling. They go to different dimensions. What? They go to higher spiritual realms. They meet angels and like what they call angels. Maybe that's the context they've been taught. I'm not sure. I'm sure there are higher spiritual beings that are called angels, but I'm a big ET believer as well. Or like maybe that's all the same thing though. Don't know. It's just mind-boggling, mind-bending. And I've been thinking to myself as well, has the CIA tried to like snatch some of these kids or something like that? Or are they aware? Because there have been experiments with psi capabilities in the past. There's been Project Stargate, where there have been remote viewing. I think Joseph McMoneagle was the first one they recruited for that program, and he's been one of the best. But I have to think he's probably nothing in comparison to these. What should we call them? These light workers, I think they call themselves, these nonverbal autistic kids, because even the fact alone that they can go on what they call the hill, like a market, or not a market, a public space on a hill where they meet. That's how they describe it. Sorry, but I'm wrapping my mind around this myself still. And where they communicate with the other telepaths, basically, even though they're not even in the same zip code. That's just insane. That's so cool. And I'm asking myself, is this the next step of human evolution? Or is this an incomplete step? Because obviously, often they can't control their own bodies correctly. But that might also have to do with the fact that they also prefer to stay in this higher realm of consciousness. They even said using too much speech or using their body too much is distracting sometimes from communicating telepathically. And then a doctor, I think, also found out that they are not shifting gears in their head. They looked at their brain and their activity, and apparently they are always in the telepathic state. So what is that? Is that the next step of evolution, or a precursor to the next step of human evolution? Because they want to raise our consciousness. That's their goal, these telepaths. They want probably everyone to get there eventually. And they said there has to be a critical mass reached before people believe in them. There have to be many of them so that everyone can make personal experiences. I'm actually now thinking about, do I know any nonverbal autistic people in my life? I don't, I think. But as soon as I find one, I'm going to test that, I thought to myself. But I don't know. Maybe you can test it. Maybe you know someone. And you also have been thinking, oh, that poor disabled person. But in reality, they are probably smarter than any of us. They're all geniuses, most likely, or many of them. They all have capabilities that are beyond what we can even imagine in most cases. I don't know. It's just, I'm getting very excited speaking about this because this is fascinating to me. It's so cool and I love it. I love it so much, and I'm so much looking forward to season 2 of the Telepathy Tapes. Season 1 is out right now. Go listen to them. I don't know. Fascinating stuff. let's talk about it in the comments. Bye.